Welcome back, guys, to another video. I believe that revisionist history is going to serve us very well when it comes down to how we view this Coach Prime and Colorado University experience. I think right now, I believe that a lot of people, including myself, we're all emotionally sucked in. We've been siphoned in by the energy of Prime and what he's pushing in Colorado. It brings a lot of attention to what's going on his football team, be it good or bad. It allows for people to give their own opinions or give their own analysis and perspectives, as I am doing right now on YouTube. However, I believe that as we move forward in time, there are a couple of questions that we have to ask ourselves. And I've heard certain people say things like this. And yes, they may have said these things as a joke or use them as a way to make light of the situation, but I've seen this experience with Coach Prime in Colorado being compared to the Kim Kardashian experience, and I know where people are going with that. It has a reality show vibe. It's when you think of the Kardashians, you think of a show that's supposed to be highlighting family values. Well, we know that the Kim Kardashian show, whatever that show is, we know that it's devoid of anything that's steeped in family values. We know that for sure. It's about materialism. It's about the exploitation of women. It's about selling sex. It's about selling the idea of vanity. It's a show that's steeped in being shallow. No substance there at all. Now, when you look at the Coach Prime experience with his football team, being that the fact that they played so horribly down the stretch last football season, and yet they continue with putting their information out there. Let me say it that way. When I say putting their information out there, I mean just letting everybody in. The Kardashians let people in their homes, and even though they call that a reality show, it's not really a reality show. It still has edits, and it's still curated to a degree to stimulate audiences to watch more. It's not real TV. Okay. Same thing with the Coach Prime experience. The Kim Kardashians have a mom that essentially sold her kids out, pimped her daughter out in order to get her famous. And then you have Coach Prime, who some will say is pimping out his son in order to build his brand or build the Sanders brand. I can see the comparisons there. I can see the similarities there. One is with family, one is with football. One is about the family life, the internal workings of a family known as the Kardashians, and the other one is about the internal workings of a football team, with a little bit of life stuff in there too, because sometimes they talk about personal stuff or the things that they're going through or things that they have to do. But in all, it's all centered around football. Now, when I say revisionist history, when I started off with the video, I mean, as time passes, we're going to look back at this experience and either say, man, this was good for football, this was good, or this was a flash in the pan kind of thing. It was a kind of like somebody that gets their 15 minutes of fame and then it's all gone. And it's either going to be to either extreme. It's either going to fall on its face and be the worst thing that's ever happened in college football, or it's going to be the best thing. And this experience is going to be something that elevates other college teams to do the same thing, to put most of what they do on social media. I don't see any coach in America, any college coach in America, getting as much publicity as Coach Prime is getting, especially being the fact that he hasn't won anything. This is not me hating. I'm just being factual. Usually, coaches or any leader of a football team, especially coaches, they're getting recognized or getting a lot of airtime due to their dominance and due to their winning. I mean, that's why they're not interviewing coaches or talking to coaches and putting them on sports shows who are losing. They're putting coaches on that are winning, but I find that hard to kind of comprehend in my mind. As much as I want to see Colorado succeed, I also have to be objective as well. I don't see other coaches who hadn't won anything getting as much exposure as Coach Prime is getting. I mean, they're treating him like he's a legend already. But I get why they're doing it. Like I told you guys before, it's to drive ratings. And because Coach Prime does drive ratings. All we want now is for the product on the field to match the allure off the field. And that's going to be a challenge. And that's where this revisionist history thing that I'm talking about is going to come into play. Because there are a couple of questions that we have to ask ourselves. Is the same well-off media still going to be in play after Shador leaves? Are they still going to be in the locker rooms with cameras? Or will it stay? It may stay, because if Coach Prime's there, it's about Coach Prime. Will the same amount of attention that's heaped upon Coach Prime right now, will that continue? That's a good question. It could continue if he does better, if he improves this upcoming football season, if he improves the next season, if he starts to dominate as he initially said he wanted to. Yes, I think he'll continue to get attention. Then the other question is, what if he doesn't? What if he does not dominate? What if he continues to have mediocre football seasons? Now, some of you guys can't believe that that's going to happen. It's possible that it can happen. It's a possibility. You can't say, oh, I can't see it happen. It'll never happen. Anything is possible. So if that happens, what's going to happen? How is that going to materialize, and how is that going to unfold in terms of the attention he's getting right now? Because I think right now the attention that he's getting is helping him out in recruiting. It's helping him. It's putting his name out there. And no other coach in America is getting that type of leeway. So I can see why other coaches may not like that. And a little bit of it is jealousy as well, of course. Because you want, some coaches are like, oh, it's not fair. He's getting all the attention. He's a new kid on the block right now. But we understand that all new kids on the block eventually get old. They become the old kid on the block. So right now, this is Prime going into his second year of coaching in the Power 5 conferences. We'll see how it goes. Is this going to be an experience that we look back on and say it was a joke? It was a clown show. This guy just came in. It was a lot of flash and no substance, like the coach from Oregon had said. Or can Coach Prime do the ultimate by bringing in both flash and substance and making it work and putting it in the faces of everybody and saying, boom, I did it my way, and what? Are we going to see that happen? So that's left up to be seen. We don't know what the future is going to hold. I am optimistic, reluctantly optimistic. I'm not passionately optimistic, because there's just certain things that I see happening that I don't like, that are not, what I think a football team should be about in terms of what they do and their practices, like not their practice, but the way they go about doing what they do. And the main thing that concerns me is just the exposure. It's just too much, and that brings a lot of pressure. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing at the beginning when you're trying to build. There's enough pressure in it by itself when you come in. There's enough pressure. I mean, by itself, when you come in to rebuild a program, that's enough pressure by itself. But the added pressure, the extra cameras, all the attention, every little thing he does is being talked about. That could be stopped, but I don't believe Coach Prime has a problem with that. I think he relishes and marvels in the idea that he's being discussed. He likes that. He likes to be relevant and stay relevant. And I don't even think he's seeking it out. I just believe that's just what comes with the territory when he's, by being who he is. That's just what happens. So that's what I think. I can see the comparisons when people are being funny with the Kardashians stuff, because we're going to have to look back at it. I think right now it's too early to say. This is going into his second year, but I believe after the third year, we can start to get a clear picture of where this is headed. We can start to understand, okay, this is where it's going. So we'll see. All right, thank you guys for listening. All right, bye.